Solveig, congratulations. My first
Thank
question is going to be, is it harder doing the Ironman or doing all of the interviews the next day?
The Ironman is harder for sure. Out on the run there is way harder.
Yeah. So we're sat here about 24 hours after the race. You executed an incredible performance yesterday. Youngest since 1986.
Yeah, I read that.
I think the 4th fastest time on the Kona course ever, and the 3rd closest finish as well, with Kat chasing you down. So just give us your perspective on how it all played out.
Yeah, it definitely didn't play out the way I thought it would. It was so much happening during the race, and my swim wasn't the best, but it was still alright. I came out of the water with some good cyclists and unintentionally break away from them, so that was also not something I had really planned, and ended up riding alone most of the ride anyway, and also running alone basically the whole way, and of course trying to chase down Taylor and Lucy, but both of them they stopped right in front of me, which was also not something I would have expected at all. Like they're both so it was just a lot of things happening that I didn't expect, and I definitely didn't expect to win either. So just a really eventful day.
Yeah, it was, and watching it was so eventful. We were here, there's people at home who went to bed and they texted us in the morning, what happened? Because when they went to bed and when they woke up, the race looked totally different.
Yeah.
So you said about passing Lucy and Taylor, like when they're by the side of the road rather than in the race. How did that feel?
Yeah, it's not the way you want to take the lead by the people in front of you dropping out. Yeah. So it's of course way more fun if they were having a good day and that I was just running better at the day. But I guess it just showed how brutal the conditions were out there, and it's really about that fine line between being aggressive and like going for it, but also not overdoing it. And it's even for the best athletes, it can be hard to know where that limit is sometimes. But that's also part of the game. So yesterday that played into my favor, that I was just holding it together.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you mentioned when we spoke to you before the race, you were the heat was a newer factor for you. In this one, it's always a factor here. But how did you manage that situation with the heat?
I tried to just go by feel, really. Was running maybe a bit slower than I had hoped, but it felt really hard. And then I was thinking I shouldn't just have this certain pace that I need to hold, but rather just run what I think I could hold just based on feel. And I think it was also probably a bit easier for me to do that since I started to run completely alone. It was quite a big gap both to the people in front of me and behind me, so I was just really by myself, and then it's easier to just go out in your own pace, really, and try to, of course, do everything I could to keep myself cool. Like I was drinking a lot, taking a lot of ice in my tri-suit on all the aid stations, and try to just stay on top of both nutrition and cooling. But yeah, even though you're doing everything you can to stay cool, it's you will still feel uncomfortably warm out there. Absolutely. So I think everyone did, and I certainly really understood. I feel like the term walk the aid station is like an Ironman term, and now I understand that one. I definitely walked some aid station out there too, just to really make sure I got the fluids and ice I needed.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned something really interesting there, which I hadn't necessarily thought of before, but you had almost like a time trial with having gaps around you, whereas we saw Taylor and Lucy trading places and racing, and from a physiology point of view, like surging and slowing spikes your temperature more than keeping a steady pace.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that was a factor then?
I definitely think it was. At least here, I think both Lucy and Taylor are more used to also racing by themselves. Yeah. When Lucy won last time, she was alone in front the whole day and was time trialing the whole thing. And Taylor as well is, as we know, really strong on the bike and has been riding a lot alone. I guess, but both of them have been riding more with others this year in the T100. But this is also an Ironman, which is of course different, and with really challenging conditions here as well. And I think maybe they probably pushed each other quite a bit. And as you said, accelerations is always hard in the heat. And I think it was a bit the same with Kat and Laura on the bike, and also at the beginning of the run that they pushed each other to maybe go out a bit harder than what they would have done if they had started alone. So it's good things and bad things about being with others and being by yourself. Like on the bike, it's always, of course, nice to have somebody to share the load with. But if you're alone, you can at least really just go your own pace, and that usually works out quite well for me.
Yeah, definitely. Now, obviously, towards the end, Kat was running you down pretty fast in the closing stages. Were you aware of that? And was that playing on your mind?
I heard 8 minutes when I got off the bike, and that was way more than I expected. But it was also like Laura ran 8 minutes faster than me in Hamburg, so I was thinking like, I need to have a decent run to not get caught, but I should be able to stay clear. And then in the first case, they were closing in way more than I had expected, because I think they both started out quite hard. So then I was thinking like, either they are just having a day, like a really good day, or they are going out a bit too hard. But I tried not to stress about that and hold my pace. And then the gap to Kat stabilized a bit for a while and was staying around 4 minutes for a while. And I knew, like, I felt quite comfortable that I would be able to hold her off. And when I overtook the lead, it was only 2K left, and then I had still 2 minutes, I think. So I was thinking like that should be enough for the rest of the remainder of the race. And I, from that point, I just really focused on not blowing up myself, especially after seeing both Taylor and Lucy. I've got really aware of the risk of that, and got a lot of splits, which was nice. So I would have had like a little bit more to push with if she had been even closer, but she was definitely running way faster than me. So I'm happy it was 42K and not 43 or 44 or something.
Yeah, amazing. And you mentioned a couple of times, your fuel and hydration, and we crunched your numbers to have a look at what you ate and drank, and it was a lot. It was really a lot. It was 132 grams of carbohydrate per hour on average, a little bit higher on the bike, a little bit lower on the run, but still pretty high.
I think on the bike I had 145 or something, and almost 140 on the run as well. And of course you have the swim where it's nothing, so it makes the average a bit lower.
Exactly, But that's big numbers, and that's similar to what you've done in the past, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't really feel any problem with my hydration or nutrition. I had most of it in flow gel, which I think is a really easy way to just get it down.
Is that what was in the flask that you were taking out on the run?
Yeah, so on the bike I had 2 flow gels in liters bottles mixed with water, and also some 1500 tablets. It doesn't feel like it's that much carbs in it, because it just flows down so easily. And on the run I did the same. Then I had one flow gel and had that in like 5 bottles, so 60 grams in each of those, plus a couple of caffeine gels here and there in addition to that. So it adds up.
Very solid. And on the hydration side, you drank about 1.3 litres an hour overall. I think it was about 1.2 on the bike, but 1.8 on the run. 1.8 litres an hour is a lot of fluid.
Yeah, it might be even more than I'm actually able to absorb, but it's, I think, it was just so hot out there, so I was just really thirsty all the time, and just really wanted to drink a lot, which was also nice when we had these fluid stations with we could have our own bottles. So I had 6 soft flasks with me with half a liter in each, so it was 3 liters only there, and they were also cold, which is really nice. So it just feels comfortable drinking as well. So it was just also tried to cool myself down with just drinking enough, and
And you took quite a bit of sodium as well, about 800 milligrams per liter on average, which is just a little bit less than your sweat sodium concentration. And generally what we see is that seems to work well for most people. Is that quite well calculated for you?
Yeah, we talked about it before the race, and I tried to be a bit more aware of my sodium than I've been earlier, and I didn't have any issues with cramps or anything, so it seems to have worked.
Yeah, fantastic. And now that we are post the race, hopefully we're one of your last interviews today, because I know you've been stacked up back to back. What are you going to do to celebrate, relax, chill in the next few days?
Well, today is a lot of things going on. It's we're celebrating here, and then it's the banquet after that, and probably some more celebration, and then tomorrow I'm planning on just having a really relaxed morning, and then I'm flying home in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then 2 days of travel. Hopefully relax some on the planes. Absolutely, and have an easy week when I get back home.
You have definitely earned that. Big congratulations again, and thank you for spending a little bit of time chatting with us.
Thank you.